I'm around 5 or 6 years old at this time, and I'm riding in the vehicle with my dad. My dad used to have this little red Honda Civic. In fact, my dad raced motorcycles. They used to call him the Honda Kid, or they would call him Mighty Mouse. Well, at this time, we're driving down the main road in Ridgely, Maryland, and this road is separated like pretty much uptown from down here where everybody else lived. Now, uptown, that's where most of the white people lived. Down here is where most of the black people lived. So my dad makes a right turn to turn down where we lived. And as he made the turn, the sirens came on, lights came on, the sirens came on. Now, first thing my dad said was, get down. When my dad told me to get down, when my dad tells me to get down, that means I always knew we were up to something, or he was up to something. But he said, get down. So I slouched down in my seat, and my dad hit the gas. He hit the gas. Now, when you come down this street, at the end of the street, or this street made a curve. It made a sharp curve when at the church. So when he got down there by the church and he made that curve, he turned off all his lights. Well, the cops are chasing us. My dad's speeding, he gets there by the church, makes the curve, and turns off all his lights. Well, not far down the street, my grandma and grandpa lived on the left side of the street, and we lived just down the street from them. So my dad, he turns off all his lights, and when he gets to my grandma and grandfather's yard, he turns up in there real quick. He pulls around the back of the house and parks by the clothesline, and then turns the car off, and we just sit there. He lays his seat all the way back. So we're just there, we're quiet, and all of a sudden you see the cops go by. The cops go by and the lights are on and they're flying down the street, And my dad just, after they go by, we wait for a little while. Then my dad's like, come on, let's go in the house. So we went in the house and sat and visited with my grandma and grandpa for a little while, chopped it up. And Dad, he just went and sat down and chopped it up like nothing ever happened, Then after about a good half an hour or so, we go back out to the car and we get in and we drive on home. That's the kind of stuff that I lived with through my dad. Lived through with my dad. It was good times. Now, I'm not saying he was right or wrong. In fact, he was wrong. But man, that dude knew how to make a split decision and how to execute. And it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot.